What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Please ignore the temporary janky setup and the construction noise going on outside. This is truly video production at its finest. That being said, let's get into update number 21. Yes, update number 21 from Vue and where they're currently at with the development of their bone conduction classes. So firstly, they've said, it's an exciting time of year for Vue. We're entering our true production phase. To help everyone understand what this means, we'll think about development as three phases: development, manufacturing, and sustainability. Development is essentially just the phase that they've just finished, which was coming up with all the prototypes, doing all the patenting, all the testing, everything to get it ready for manufacturing. Manufacturing, which they're just going into, which is essentially the tooling, so it's actually the cutting out of the plastics, it's making the mechanicals and the electrical components that need to go inside, before sustainability, which is kind of to upkeep and just automate that production line so that they can keep on going and keep on producing more classes with like very little by hand work. They want as much automation as possible. So in preparation for this manufacturing phase which they're entering, there's just a few pictures which they provided of them ordering all of the components. Obviously they've got to ship a lot of products for everyone who's backed the project now. So here we've got a big ass box of batteries, cool, boxes containing bone conduction transducers, that's a cool word, and a bag of hinge screws. Not quite as cool, but there we go, bag of screws for you. So the assembly process, so essentially they're saying when they were creating the prototypes it would take about 10 hours to put together one pair of glasses, which they would have to do by hand. Here they've provided a picture of young Yibin gluing together a pair of glasses, bless his little cottons. So as I said before, basically with their manufacturing process they're looking for automation. So is there a process which is currently done by hand which they can then swap over, you know, outsource if they have to be done by a machine, to be done much quicker and cost effectively. So this is one of them. So obviously picture of young Ibn gluing together the glasses, and then we've got a couple of pictures here of an automated system of a laser guided machine which is just applying adhesive to the parts of the glasses, and we've got a picture here of that end result. They've said the end result is what you see below, where thin lines of adhesive have been placed in designated channels in the arms of the glasses. This shaves off a ton of time during assembly and is far more accurate than a human hand. Sorry Yibin, you're out of a job. Then it looks like we've got a couple of pictures and videos of a field trip they took to a battery factory. All very cool, doesn't really tell me when I'm going to get the glasses, but let's have a look anyway. Basically saying during development they want the highest quality product for the lowest price, and they've just swapped battery providers basically. So they took a tour of that factory, and there's just a couple of videos of the early stages of folding battery sheets and contained machine operated via gloves in a pass-through window. Cool. Moving on to tooling, so this is something I discussed in the last video, which is the actual production of like the plastics where they'll be cutting them out and such. So they've got a picture of the reason it took so long to go to tooling, which was holding them back for the last few updates, was essentially the cavities within the arms of the glasses where they're going to put the mechanical and the electrical components. It kept changing. So the picture they've provided is a photo of the first prototype, which is essentially just empty. So they were just like, we'll just jam the components in there and it's all going to be good. Compared to the latest version where you can see it's actually got shapes and grooves which have been engraved into it. So that's like the final design of where each component is going to slot and adhesively be glued in and all of this stuff, compared to before, I guess, where they were just going to jam it inside. So that's good to know. A bit of an explanation as to why it took so long to get to this point, because that design most likely just kept changing. That is the only picture we've got at the moment. So they've said once tooling is finished we'll take pictures so that you can see all the features reflected in the cavities. Unfortunately we're a few weeks behind with the tooling process due to a slow review process. Slow indeed. We'll provide additional updates in the coming weeks when we have more details from the factory on whether or not we can tighten up this timeline. Glasses case. Now this is actually the first, I've not read every update that they've done, all 21 of these, but from the ones I've read this is the first time they've actually talked about the glasses case. But unfortunately all they've said is, we're aware we haven't talked about the glasses case, but it's still on the up and up basically. Everything's moving along. The only piece of information they've provided is before the design had a 90-degree angle on it, which was uncomfortable to hold. So they've changed that. So now it's comfortable to hold. There is a reminder on here as well. A few months ago now, before the payments were taken for the glasses, everyone should have received an email or through some kind of communication. They would have got the survey for their lens, if they're prescription lenses that people have ordered, essentially saying they've not had everyone's back yet. So if you haven't filled it out, even if they finish production and they send them out, you're not going to get yours. You've gone to the bottom of the list. You've not given your prescription. They don't know what to put in the lenses. So if anyone has forgotten, just check your emails, check your spam. This one comes out by SurveyMonkey. Other than that, it just says, until next time, with love, the View team. So again, no hard date for when they will actually be produced. A few updates back, this date was pushed back to December. We're obviously coming up to the end of November, coming into December. So hopefully in the next update, which again I will provide for you, we'll see a bit more of a concrete release date. Until then, to keep up with the updates, remember to subscribe below. If you like the video, remember to give it a thumbs up. And as always, I shall see you in the next one.